Imagine a world where cars aren't just vehicles, they're your favorite restaurant or the cinema down the street. With a car and a clear stretch of open highway, the world becomes your oyster. Cars have the power to make our cities the fast, efficient, clean, and safe places we adore. Well, mostly. Despite being our primary mode of transportation for nearly a century, it seems like our love affair with cars is hitting a rough patch. From Berlin to Busan, cities everywhere are trying to kick cars out of certain areas.
There's a remarkable thing in just about every Dutch city, areas that are almost completely devoid of cars. And it's amazing.
But is this just a passing trend in urban planning, or is it the beginning of a lasting change? Believe it or not, the answer might be found in a flat-pack sofa. You've probably heard a lot about why cities are pushing cars off the road, so let's not dwell on that. But just to quickly catch you up, the main reason is what comes out of cars. Road transport contributes significantly to global CO2 emissions, which is bad news for the planet and our health. Plus, cars take up a ton of space, like 7 times more than a bus to transport the same number of people. And let's not forget about all that land reserved for parking. Gabe Klein, an urban planner in the US, has spent a lot of time thinking about the role of cars in our cities. He believes that cities have become too focused on speed, forgetting about the people who actually live there. As the pandemic showed us what clean roads and air could look like, many cities started rethinking the role of cars.
Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson said it's what Americans want.
But hold on a minute. Aren't cars good for some things? I mean, as fun as cycling is, riding in the rain isn't everyone's cup of tea. Cars give us a sense of freedom, especially for people with disabilities or when we need to haul big stuff like a new sofa. But even that might be changing. Enter IKEA Westbahnhof in Vienna, a far cry from your typical giant blue store in the middle of nowhere. This light, airy building is right in the heart of Vienna, surrounded by trees and greenery. And guess what? You can't drive there. Nope, you'll have to rely on Vienna's excellent public transport. Plus, they'll deliver your sofa within 24 hours, so no need to worry about how to fit it on the subway. It's not just IKEA leading the charge. Retailers and developers are realizing that people want more than just a place to shop. They want an experience, and that's where cars might become irrelevant.
Walkable communities, but are they willing to give up their cars entirely? One real estate developer is making a bet that in Tempe, Arizona, they will.
With more delivery options, you can enjoy the benefits of shopping without the hassle of lugging everything home yourself. But IKEA isn't stopping there. They're testing out new ideas at the H22 Expo in Helsingborg, Sweden. One exhibit, called DM, is a multifunctional marketplace that aims to create new infrastructure for food consumption and social inclusion, all without relying on cars. Now, we're not saying everyone should ditch their cars and start biking everywhere. Cars still have their place, and what works in one city might not work in another. But the idea that cars should be the main way we get around cities is being seriously questioned.
So the idea is more that they're offering you other options because society is changing toward that shared transportation. They're not anti-car, they're just anti-everybody having a car, because in Arizona, it's something like there are 8 parking spaces for every car. Do we need that? Probably not.
We're on the brink of more innovation, changing minds, and creating positive social outcomes. We might never say goodbye to cars entirely, but who knows? Maybe next time you need a new sofa, you'll leave the car keys at home and hop on your bike instead.
The most remarkable thing of all is that people who absolutely do need to drive also find it easier. With the majority of car traffic removed, it becomes quicker for residents, delivery vehicles, handicapped vehicles, and emergency vehicles to make it to their destination.
After all, it's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about the journey and the experiences along the way. Picture a world where cars aren't just modes of transportation, they're versatile spaces, doubling as your favorite eatery or the local cinema. With a trusty car and a long open highway, the possibilities seem endless. Cars have revolutionized urban life, making our cities faster, cleaner, and safer. Well, mostly. Despite their long-standing reign as the primary mode of transport, it appears that our infatuation with cars is facing a rough patch. From bustling Berlin to vibrant Busan, cities worldwide are taking steps to minimize car presence in certain areas. But is this a fleeting trend in urban planning, or could it signify a lasting shift? Surprisingly, the answer may lie in something as simple as a flat-pack sofa. We've heard plenty about why cities are steering away from cars, so let's not dwell on that. But for a quick refresher, the main issue lies in what cars emit.
It's easier to get around the city because the streets aren't clogged with cars. The area has become more accessible. People who can't drive, such as seniors, children, or really anyone else who would be dependent on others to shuttle them around, can now travel independently without fear of being run over by motor vehicles.
They contribute significantly to global CO2 emissions, posing environmental and health risks. Plus, the vast space they occupy, especially for parking, raises questions about urban land use. Gabe Klein, a US-based urban planner, emphasizes that cities have prioritized speed over the well-being of their residents. The pandemic prompted cities to reconsider the role of cars, revealing the potential for cleaner roads and air. But hold on, aren't cars beneficial in some ways? While cycling may be enjoyable, it's hardly ideal in inclement weather. Cars offer a sense of freedom, particularly for people with disabilities or those needing to transport bulky items like furniture. However, even this perception is evolving. Take IKEA Westbahnhof in Vienna, for instance. Unlike traditional out-of-town stores, this airy building is centrally located, surrounded by greenery. And here's the kicker, it's car-free. Instead, visitors rely on Vienna's efficient public transport system. With same-day delivery services, the hassle of transporting bulky purchases home is eliminated. But it's not just IKEA leading the charge. Retailers and developers recognize that consumers seek experiences, not just products. This shift may render cars unnecessary, especially with the convenience of home delivery. IKEA's innovative approach extends to the H22 Expo in Helsingborg, Sweden. The DM exhibit showcases a multifunctional marketplace focused on social inclusion and sustainable food consumption, all accessible without cars. To be clear, we're not advocating for a car-free world overnight. Cars still serve vital roles, and solutions vary by city.
It's hoped such an event would encourage more people to cycle or walk, and pedestrians seem keen on the idea.
I don't drive around London, I take the tube. I think that people should be using more sustainable ways of getting around the city.
However, the idea of cars as the primary urban transportation mode is being challenged. We stand on the brink of innovation, changing perceptions, and fostering positive social change. While cars may never disappear entirely, the next time you need furniture, you might consider leaving the car behind and opting for a more sustainable mode of transport. After all, it's not just about reaching your destination, it's about embracing the journey and the experiences it offers.
So again, maybe this is more for young people, maybe it's more for retirees who aren't so car dependent. It's an experiment. Is the whole country going to go this way? Probably not, but it could work for a lot of people.
If you enjoy our content and would like to stay updated, we'd be thrilled if you could hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. Thanks for your support.